All right, next up in our series with conditional programming in the game lab, we're going to work on conditional programming with time being the trigger. We've done things where motion is the trigger, or maybe making something grow, and as it gets to a certain size, that's the trigger. But today it's going to be time that is going to be the trigger. I want you to try this out, and I'm going to show you an example, and then you build something sort of like it, and you'll be good. Here's what's required. It's just one program, but I want 3 time triggers built into it. I'm going to show you how to do that. So, if that sounds confusing, just watch. We're going to use the world.seconds block today. That's what measures time passing, so we're going to use that. Each event must be noticeable, the thing that happens in your program. I got to be able to notice it, all right? It can't just be something so small that I don't see it. And you use the if block to check the time at 3 different levels of time. And again, if that sounds confusing, what you need to do is just watch. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. Got a few notes here, but I think I'm going to kind of explain all of that as I go through this. I'm going to build one. So take a look. I'm going to hop over here to Chrome and get to code.org. And today, what I'm going to do is there's a little bit of a fast forward involved here. I am going to use this program that you see right here, and it's partly built already. I wanted to save a little time in the movie, so it's partly built already. I'm going to click the Run button, and here's what we've got. I've got 3 rocks that appear at the top of the game screen, and they're not moving. They're not going anywhere. If I go over here, I'm going to hit Reset and go over to the Animation tab. I just used this one. This is something that came out of the sprite library. It's called or_iron. I don't know. That doesn't really look like iron to me, but whatever. All right, so I found this in the sprite library, and that's what I'm using. And you'll notice that over here on the code side, I've got rock 1, rock 2, and rock 3, but they all look the same. And you can do that. I can use the same little picture that I got out of the library for all one. They all have different names. Rock 1, Rock 2, and Rock 3, but they all look the same. And that you can do that, right? If I drop this down, I've only got one picture to choose from here. And so they all look the same, but they have different names. And so when I run it, all I've done is I've set their initial point, right? Their initial X and Y, like Rock 1 is over 100 and down 50. Rock 2 is over 200 and down 50. And Rock 3 is over 300 and down 50. And they are not doing a doggone thing. They're just sitting there. All I have in the draw loop here is a background command, that's a brown color. By the way, I don't think I have it open anymore. I used a color picker to do that. And then the draw sprites command. So what you're going to see in this movie is the idea of, okay, how do you build a conditional statement that is going to check time? Okay, let's go. So I'll go to the control section, and I'll get an if block, and I'll bring it over. Boom. Like that. Okay. Now, the next thing I'm going to plug in here is actually a mathematical operator, and you can do this a number of ways, but I want to count seconds. And I'm going to show you how. Just keep watching. I want to count seconds. And if the time gets greater than or equal to a certain number, I want something to happen. I could just use greater than, but what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go to the math drawer, and right here, this block is greater than or equal. All right, so that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use greater than or equal, and I'll drop it in. Now, so what is it I'm going to set up here? Something's going to have to be greater than or equal to something. Okay, well, here's how we do it. In the world section, in this yellow world section, kind of down toward the bottom, there's one called world.seconds right here. If you are a show text coder, if you like to type it out yourself, the W in world is capital. It's world.seconds with a capital W on world. All right, I'm going to bring that over and drop it in the first hole like that. Now, what I want to do, this is a number, right? I'm going to put in, if the clock is ticking when you run the program, world.seconds keeps track of how many seconds have passed since you hit run. So it's ticking. The clock is ticking. So I think I'll just set it for 3. If world.seconds gets greater than or equal to 3, then I'm going to make something happen. All right, so now we have to think about what am I going to make happen? Now, your program that you create does not have to be just like mine. It could be. You could kind of steal this idea if you want to, but you're going to have to build your own. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'll go to the sprites drawer, and I'm going to get a sprite.y, and I'm going to start with rock1. All right. So I'm going to say rock1.y equals rock1.y plus, I think I'll add 15. I'll click off of that, and now look at that. Study it up. What should happen? When the clock ticks along far enough, and we've either equal to or passed 3 seconds, the first rock should fall, shouldn't it? To .y, it should fall. I'm going to reset this, and I'm going to run it. Let's see if it works. Tick, tick, tick. There it goes. Look at it again, real quick. 3 seconds, and it falls. Well, okay. So I'm thinking I'm going to use a similar idea for the other 2 rocks. I just want them to happen at different times. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that I could come along here and just kind of marquee in and select that whole if thing right there. Copy it, Control-C. Make sure that my little black cursor thing, which is right here, make sure that little black cursor is sitting in the right spot, and paste it. But now I got to change this. Rock 1 has already fallen, right? So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say 6 seconds here. If the seconds have ticked up and I've made it's greater than or equal to 6 seconds, then I'm going to have rock 2. Right? I'll just change this rock 1. I'll just edit that so it says rock 2. And now after 6 seconds, rock 2 should fall. Well, let's find out. Let's run it. Just be patient here. Tick, tick, tick. There goes rock 1. Tick, tick, tick. There goes rock 2. So now, I've got to make my third event happen. And what I mean, like on the handout, what I mean, you have 3 time triggers. I've got 2 right now. When the seconds gets greater than or equal to 3, something happens. When the seconds gets equal or greater than or equal to 6, something happens. All right, well, I'm going to paste this in one more time, and I'll make this one 9. And you can use whatever time markers you want. I'm using the 3-second mark, the 6-second mark, and the 9-second mark. You don't have to use those same numbers. You do whatever you want. All right, so this is going to be rock 3, and this is going to be rock 3. So I think now I've got it. So I've got 3 different time tests here, right? 3 seconds, 6 seconds, 9 seconds. And when we hit all of those levels of time, something in the program happens. All right, so let's reset this and let's run it. Here we go. So tick, 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 3 seconds, the first rock falls. 6 seconds, the second rock falls. After 9 seconds, the third rock ought to fall. Well, there we go. Now I am going to show you one more thing that you can do if you want to. You don't have to do this. This is done. This is what I mean by having, the thing that is conditional is time. I'm checking seconds. If we hit 3 seconds or more, something happens. If we hit 6 seconds or more, something happens. If we hit 9 seconds or more, something happens. And that's what I mean. And it's 3 different time checks and 3 different events. Okay. So it's really done, but I am going to show you an option here. What would you like to see the time on the screen? Would you like to see it kind of like tick, 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 tick? It's not that hard. Here's all you would have to do. I'm going to bring over right here before the draw sprites. I'm going to make the fill color black. Watch what I do here. I'm going to make the text size like I'll go 32. I'll try that and see if it works. And then on this text string, what I'm going to do is stick where it says quote text quote. I'm going to stick world.seconds in there. That's what I wanted to show me. I don't want it to show me a message. I want it to show me how many seconds have gone by. So I'll just stick world.seconds in there. Now this is for where it appears. So I think I'll go over like 330 and down maybe about, I don't know, I'll try down about 75. I don't know if this is going to work. I'm going to find out. So reset and run. All right, so do you see the time ticking? Look. The time is ticking. When it hits 9, the other rock, oh, look, there it goes. And the kind of nice thing about that is you can test and make sure that, yeah, this is really working. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There it goes. 7, 8, 9. There it goes. Hey, look, it's working. All right. I think if I were really going to do this, I'd maybe push that over to about 350 or so. Reset, run. All right. Well, now you've seen the assignment. You could kind of steal my idea and make some things fall, at different times. That would be totally fine. You could do that. Or you could do something different because some of you, I think you understand it well enough and you have some imagination, and you could certainly kind of do your own thing a little bit. Anyway, this is the assignment for today. So let's roll.